There is something that I'd like to ask you, but if you could do it later, that's better. So I'm sure you have photos of yourself. Later, after this video, I want you to grab them and see your face. See your eyes, your gaze, the kind of overall aura or energy that you sense in yourself. The reason that I am asking this is because I was recently just preparing a little gift with my mother for my brother who is overseas. A little gallery of photos, if you like, in which we compiled our childhood into our adolescence and then kept on growing up, blah blah blah. In these photos, I saw many pictures of myself when I was little, and obviously I saw the difference, right? The change. I saw myself and I saw the light in my eyes. Whilst it is true that for some mysterious reason I had a guarded and worried expression in most of the photos, at the same time I was so stupefied at the fact that I had such an innocence, such a life in my eyes. And it's not like I am totally lifeless now or anything of the sort. I'm actually quite the energetic person in contrast to, I guess, a majority of people. But nonetheless, this is after correcting myself, so by meditation, by doing some mind work and all this stuff. But somewhere along the way, from childhood and then progressing into adolescence and then adulthood and then, I kept on going through life, along the way, either something, happened or went wrong in the middle. What's more interesting is that I know that this isn't the case for just me. I know that there's a lot of people that I saw these photos. Of course, I was editing and there's photos of me, my family and everybody. I saw how our gazes, our eyes and our energy were so much superior to the ones that some of us unfortunately now have. How can we make it so that we can return once again to an unperturbed heart that does not worry too much about what the neighbor might say, about what the friend might say, about what the world may think, but rather just enjoys life and walks and treads through it with passion and energy. I saw myself in these photos of when I was young. And I remember hearing words of, oh, you were such a cute baby, or whatever, in contrast to my brothers who were so stunning. I didn't really think this to be the case, but I was seeing these photos and I couldn't help but think, wow, I was adorable. But what made me adorable and what makes many of these children in general adorable is the unabashed amount of energy that they have, as well as liberty of expression. And not in the sense of, look at my sexuality, look at me, no. Real expression is being yourself without caring about the approval of anybody else. To be totally free from the desire of meeting another person's expectations or from another person's judgment. And there is a few things that you can do to get this aura or energy back. It's a bit unpractical, but one thing would be to think less about things, right? As we get older through our life, we start having these blocks and games that we play with each other. We can no longer say words like, I like your eyes, without having anything behind the lines, right? Kind of, damn bars. To get some sort of edge or favor, desired in return, right? It's like we can't have normal interactions or share normal love without expecting things in return, or without thinking that the other person may be plotting against us. Like when somebody's being nice to us, we think, damn, what do they want? To make this more practical, I'm not telling you to think nothing of other people when they do it towards you. Because unfortunately it is so that a lot of people, especially in adulthood, will not be just nice for the sake of being nice. There's a lot of things involved, and in normal relationships and friendships, right, there's always a battle of hierarchy, unfortunately, and all the sorts. At least in normal friendships, I know that I'm blessed with amazing friends that I'm so grateful for. But what you can do is you yourself do things unabashed and without ill intention or anything of the sort, without expecting anything in return. Right now, tomorrow, tonight, when you greet a family member or a friend or a co-worker, you could say something that you could appreciate about them, as if somebody showed you, for example, a photo of this person that you know, as if they were a stranger, and they said to you, name something nice about them, something that you like. You could say, wow, they have a nice composure. They are very elegant in the way that they are walking. I like the way that they dress. Oh wow, they have a really nice nose. I think about my nose is a little bit crooked to the side, but they have a beautiful nose. Maybe, I don't know, you like their hair. Maybe you like their eyes. Maybe you just like nothing and you just put into words like wow, they are beautiful. I don't have a reason for it. Love doesn't need a reason. But behaving this way slowly and slowly will become a real fit if it's not real from the beginning in yourself, and you will start to generate more love in the world, which, as we know, there's unfortunately a lack of. It's a lot of battles of men against women, gay against straight, of this against that, and even religions and things. It seems like we forget over and over again that we are a team and that really we all look for the same thing, which is love. And love has many forms, of course. Could be the form of a career, could be the form of an impact, could be in the form of a delicious plate of food, or it can be in the form of a family, our community. Whatever the case is, we must not forget that you and I, we're not so different. In behaving in this way, first of all, you will actually motivate other people to also be more loving in their own life. Practice makes perfect, and a lie becomes the truth. Eventually, when you behave in this way, it will be a real feature of your personality, that you are just a person so free in their expression of love. Unfortunately, as we get older, as I've already mentioned, there's blogs and then there's tactics and then there's all of these negative things that go in our life, which makes us be scared of just being giving because other people will take. And it is the case that they would take. But what if you carried on giving despite them taking? Because believe it or not, some of the best things in life are free. Just don't give them things that may cost you too much of your time or your money. You could give them just your words. A lot of people just want to feel better. They don't really care about your money or whatever. They can make it for themselves. Yeah, sure, it will help. I mean, if somebody dropped me 10 million right now, I wouldn't be like, no, I prefer you call me pretty. But, if you make a person feel better, this is their experience of life. Their experience of life is how they feel. So they could be the most rich person in the world. It wouldn't make a change if they got it through means that didn't make them happy, if they weren't happy in general because they had things that they didn't address of their own life that, it was burdensome in the heart. Making a person feel better directly through emotions and maybe encouragement for them to generate their own money, generate their own life, their own career, is way better for the soul than giving their a lot of people talk about your love language and it's giving gifts. The gift that you can give is that of your word. I think it's a lot pretty. And I know, actions speak louder than words, and it is true. But if your words are empty and unauthentic and you say things that you don't mean, then of course your actions will be better. But if you have the right intentions and you say words nicely, you're not gonna be there for everybody. This is a way for you to love the world, not your partner. If it is your partner, of course, help them financially if they are struggling. Do whatever they need. Maybe they have a backache and you give them a little massage. So all of this will be a way for you to return to this energy that you had when you were little. At least a basic and understandable one. Now, something a bit more complex will be to realize that we can't just feign ignorance, right? We didn't know what we wanted. We just lived day to day when we were really little. And because we had no real purpose, our purpose was to find out more about the world. Now you have an idea about the world roughly. You may not know everything. Neither do I, neither does anybody. Since the discovery of how things and the systems of the world and society work, now you ponder about self-actualization. And the process of seeking this out is what will allow for you to have once again this joy and this kind of life in you. I have seen this being true over and over again. Before I speak about I'll say about my own thing first. I went from doing one job, right, that earned me a good amount of money, to quitting it completely and doing something that I enjoyed most. The energy that I had in my day-to-day skyrocketed. My relationships with the people around me had a lot more patience and a lot more love now. My self-care, waking up at a good time, doing this, doing that, everything improved. It's like the world itself was starting to be sunny just for me. But you see in other people now, over and over again, they make a lifestyle change. They drop something that they don't like and they start to seek purpose. They start to look for the thing that will really fulfill them deep down inside. As they do so, you see that this person undergoes metamorphosis. It's like they shed their skin and become a whole new creature. Maybe they even look younger. They are happy. They have energy. They love the world. They love their comrades. They love everything. Whilst it is hard, of course, to be this way, the difficult part isn't really doing, funnily enough, it's not doing and taking action. I'm not gonna say it's starting, no. It's finding the thing that you want to do. So finding your purpose. And it's not going to be become an entrepreneur or do this. Look, it's different for everybody, right? Everybody has their roles and their functions. It doesn't even have to do with your job, really. Maybe your deepest purpose is to create a family and you have something on the side that is somewhat enjoyable. Maybe you play in a band and you make a good amount of money. It'd be better for you, let's say you're a man, to come home to your family as a man that is fulfilled, right? And strong in his core because he's leading a life that he likes. Maybe he's not Ed Sheeran, right? And he's not multi-millionaire, globally known, but you come home and you're fulfilled and you're earning enough money to sustain yourself, your wife, your children. You come home, they have the blessing of having a man with full presence in the family. When you give them that time, your gaze is unguarded. Your love is open. You accept them into your arms. And when you give them your time, it is time where your attention is undivided. When you're really there. Half hour of the time of a full and undivided father is going to be a lot more meaningful than days and nights that you could spend by their side if you're not really about it. So just keep in mind that the purpose itself has loads of shapes and forms. First is finding it. After you find it, comes a time where you make a decision. A decision to say, this really is what I want and I'm going to do it. And then you start taking action, and yes, you take the first step. The first step, then you just carry on. You don't deviate and you don't fall for the trap of the whispers of, oh, I could have more of money, but you really don't care about money. Could I have more love? More love that I really want? Yes, no? Well, how do I feel? Do I want to do it or not? If I don't want to do it, then what is this more love that I feel like I'll get? If I do want to do it and I will get more love, then what am I waiting for? This is really the thing that I wanted to do. Use this kind of questioning towards yourself and you will find the thing that you prefer to do over and over again. I'm a bit upset that a lot of people in the self-improvement space that I have been brainwashed by. Anyway, I'm not going to mention names. They think that money is the source of everything. It's less convincing when you hear from a guy that's not rich. But nonetheless, I have true belief. I would even dare to say knowledge. So it's not even a belief, but rather I know that this won't be what makes it better for me. This is why I've made certain decisions in my own life. In any case, I love speaking about this, about self-actualization. It's actually my big thing, my gig. It's what I do on camera and off camera. If you feel like despair or something like that because you're not yet finding the things that you want to find, then stick around, maybe send me a message or whatever. I'd be happy to help. This is what I like to do. So yeah, anyway, I do have a community as well if you want to check that out. It's optimized for growth through encouragement and accountability, and I want to get more into that. Anyway, I'm off. Strive to be 1% better every day, and much love. Quick reminder to fix your posture and take deep breaths into your diaphragm from your nose.